Welcome, my friends. Eric Andreas, your guitar sage here. And today we're going to be talking about a wicked trick for major scales all over the neck in any key. Friends, the only thing you need to know is 3 notes, and the pattern is so daggone easy. I was literally just using it all over the neck. Literally just using this. The track that I just played for you is in E minor. I was playing G major over it, okay? If you know about relative major and minor, that's basically what I was doing there. If you want to know more about that, here on YouTube, search YourGuitarSage relative, okay? But essentially, what I want to show you is something that I stumbled across. You know me, in my crazy videos, it's always things that I stumble across. And I ask myself, why is it that I've been playing guitar for this long, taking guitar lessons from many great teachers, read many books, watched many videos, taken lots of courses, but yet this has never been taught. That seems to be my theme, is like I find these things that I'm like, why hasn't that never been taught? And this is one. I'm pointing at the screen here because I have it up here. This is one of those things that to me is so out there in front of you, and why not teach this? It's so magnificent, okay? So we're talking about basically this one little pattern that if you replicate this across the strings, my God, the whole thing just opens up for you, okay? Now, I'm basing this off of some real basic theory, don't get scared of it, regarding the major scale. Specifically, where I teach you how to play the major scale across one string, okay? You gotta know how to play the major scale. So this is gonna all be based off of some stuff that I provide for you inside of UGS Standard. I'll tell you more about that later, but if you wanna go there, before I finish this video, the very first link below will give you access to the Unstoppable Guitar System, and it'll talk to you about the major scale. Cool? Otherwise, we'll talk more about that later. So here's the deal. The major scale sounds like this. You've heard it before. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Except instead of solfege, which is what I just said, that whole solfege thing is solfeggio, vocal exercises, if you will. We're gonna name these notes by their number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay? And so you see patterns like this. Right? Or, right? And all the different forms of the scale. All these different forms. And yes, you can memorize all those. I don't have them memorized. I'm joking, I do. But you don't have to memorize these. You can. The more you do, the better. But I'm going to show you this one trick here that will literally show you how to play these scales in any and all keys. Okay, now, it goes like this. So you've heard of 3 notes per string scales, right? This is kind of using that idea, but making it even easier. So we could play the scale like this, or we could play it using 3 notes per string. Now when we get to the 1 here again, it starts over again. Right? Now, check this out. I want to show you something that if you take these 3 notes and you repeat them on the next string, you have 6 notes out of this 7-note scale. Watch again. Here we go. We have 3, 5, 7. That's all you need to know because this repeats. Now we're going to go 3, 5, 7 on the next string. Now we're going to take that whole bit there and we're going to move it to here. What we did is we just moved this to the next string down, but we bumped it up 2 frets. I'll tell you more about that in a second. But now the same thing. So it's the same pattern. And then we bumped it down 2 frets, or bumped it up 2 frets. And then the third time around, this is how you remember it, go up 3 frets. So here we go. The third time around, now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and now, and that's 6 notes out of the 7-note diatonic scale. Okay? Now I know for some of you, you're probably saying, yeah, but there's 7 notes in a diatonic scale. Yeah, you're correct. Yes. So let's talk about that note. The 7th note is always a half step below the 1, so we can easily access it. That one's so easy to remember. The part I want you to remember is this. And then if you want to find the 7th note, it's only a half step below your 1 every single time in every single key. So check this out. Getting ready to play my next set, but I'll start on this note. Same thing here. So all together it might sound something like this. What? Yes. And I know you guys are wanting those scales that go diagonally because I wanted that too. And for whatever reason, folks think that if you're doing that, that you have more mastery of the neck. I mean, you have more notes to choose from, right? You can play your scale up higher. So that's kind of cool. And it is good to know these diagonal scales for sure, you know? But friends, the power in this is pretty amazing because not only can you add this to all the other pentatonic forms, and thank you, Mike, for the pentatonic forms, all the major scale forms that I show you, the modal forms and all that. If you add this to it, it's just giving you yet another way to look at the guitar. In fact, I think about when I was a kid, I was in a band and I had written a solo, and it was in the key of G, or at least the solo was, and I did this run, and it went something like this. Or let me see. Something like that. And so what I'm using is that 3 notes per string bit. You know, just going up. But in this case here, I wasn't using the major. I was using it, but I was doing it in a different style. So very useful to be thinking about these scales in different ways, because when you do, a different lick's going to come out of you than if you were just playing this scale the standard way all the time. So yet another thing to add to your repertoire, okay, or your bag of tricks, if you will. So again, just 3, 5, 7, and then 3, 5, 7 again on the next string, and then you're going to bump that up 2 frets, and you're going to do the same finger movements. And the third time around, you bump it up 3 frets. 1, 2, 3, and do the same bit. And if you want to add that 7th note, it's always a half step behind the 1. So. And then play that backwards. Do this forward, do it backwards, then move it up the fretboard. Okay, try it in the key of G, try it in the key of G sharp, move it up the fretboard. In short time, you will have mastery of this, and it's just yet another way to look at these scales. My friends, this is these quick in and out broadcasts that we're doing for you guys. We cannot get to the questions. I apologize, okay? But I want... What's that? Oh, let's show them the graphic. Dear Lord, thank you, Mike. Here's the graphic. What I want, basically what I want you to do is just take a snapshot of this. You ready? Okay, then you got my face on it as well, which is a bonus. But notice the greens, put that up again, Mike, real quick. Oh, there you go. They're green, the green part, right? Second part, third part, and then you have that one note that's right behind the red note, and the red note up there is your tonic every time. This is a completely movable scale, yet another way to think about this. This works for every major key, so now you got it in 12 keys as well. Boom, right? I'm telling you. Friends, we can't grab any questions during these broadcasts because we're in and out doing these quick lessons, but we are going to be continuing our live lessons as well, maybe doing them every other week or so. Just hopefully you're privy to our you're subscribed to the videos so you'll know when these come up. Speaking of that, friends, like this video right now. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, because we are doing all sorts of mind-blowing bits like this all the time. Also, share this with a friend if you would. By doing so, you're letting me know, hey, Eric, thank you. We want more of this, okay? And I truly appreciate you doing that right now. Also, friends, I mentioned to you a course, a free course that we give to you. First link below, YourGuitarSage.com/UGS. Top 30 lessons I teach all my students. It's called UGS Standard. 500,000 people in it already. If you're in it, please let folks know by just saying 30. Yes, I got tons of value from this, Eric. If you're in UGS Pro, let folks know that in the chat as well. So they can chat you up and you can be like, yeah, dude, it's seriously cool. All right. If you don't want to go to that link, I can always set it up for you. Type free, F-R-E-E, text me to this number right here, F-R-E-E. We'll set you up with the course. And if you're already in the course and you just want to chat via text, ask questions, have contact with me in that way, then just type UGS to that. We'll still get you set up with communication. Anything else? Am I forgetting anything, Mike? I don't know. We got jam tracks. We got all sorts of stuff. ProJamTracks.com. Check that out. God, I'm forgetting something. I know I am. Oh, I hate it. But I'm going to be here tomorrow, so there you go. I'll see you. I'm out of here. Thanks, friends.